Welcome back, folks. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. There's a lot that's happened in really the last week. Uh, I'm actually going to split this. I don't want to talk about everything in just one video, honestly, because it would just be jumbled. But not long ago, I saw a story where the DOJ was apparently considering charging the rioters with sedition. And as always, when something like this comes out, the left loses their ever-loving mind. They start screaming and accusing everyone who doesn't agree with them 100% on every issue, anticipating their flip-flops on those issues of what they're guilty of. Sedition, very simply, is the violent attempt to overthrow the government. Simply holding a protest and holding up signs and chanting that you want someone to be removed from office, that's not sedition. That is peaceful protest. You can say that all you want. Californians are doing that now with their push to recall Governor Gavin Newsom. That is not seditious in any way. That is using the legal means at their disposal to accomplish their goals. However, we have people in Portland, Kenosha, Minneapolis, St. Paul, rioting, attacking police, attacking those who are not riding with them, burning buildings to the ground, screaming for more violence until they're obeyed. You have that idiotic group, the NFAC, openly said, "Give us land, we'll take Texas." Their goal has never been law and order. Their goal has never been justice. George Floyd, all the others, they've been proven to not be what the media says they were. For crying out loud, the most recent one where a man charged at an officer with a knife. You don't get to say, it was only a knife, you shouldn't have shot him. It's ridiculous. Now, this is not the knife that was used. You can tell, not a big knife. It's a standard little pocket knife. I carry it most days because if I need to open a box or anything like that, you need to have a knife. Even this little thing. If someone charges at you with that, imagine they hit you right here. Stab through the sternum. 1 inch can mean your heart or lung. If they come at your neck, right here. If they come at your head, a knife goes through your eye, even a knife that long goes through your eye, you're dead. That is a threat on your life, and you have the right, by any means you deem necessary, to defend your life. When your job is to protect and serve, if you go down, others are vulnerable. There's a reason police officers respond to structure fires. If the fire department is stopped from doing their duty, the fire can spread. It's that simple. Today, more than ever, the concept of self-defense is being twisted. I can remember several years ago seeing a story where a woman was asked, if someone breaks into your home and is raping your children in front of you, would you pick up a gun to stop them? And she said no. She admitted she would let her children be raped and killed because guns are so evil. That answer she gave is evil. We have never, ever advocated on any issue to just go out and start killing. Okay? The military doesn't even do that. There are clear objectives. There are clear adversarial forces against the military. But the left today doesn't care. If you aren't with them, you are going to be attacked and killed. They asked a woman in Portland about the Trump supporter who was targeted and murdered. Her response: don't be a Trump supporter in Portland. You know, I kind of want to see that happen. What if all conservatives moved out of the state of Washington? They're doing it to New York now. Cuomo and de Blasio are panicking because of how many people are leaving their state, leaving them with the dregs, who rant and rave and riot, demanding free money, free housing, free food, free TV, free everything. Minneapolis-St. Paul is seeing what happens when you cave to the left. They caved and defunded the Minneapolis Police Department, violating their city's charter. But now they're crying and saying, why aren't the police doing their job? I really want that police chief to say, well, you took away our funding. We don't have gas for our cars. We can't pay our officers, and they're not going to do this for free. We can't afford to buy any tools. So we can't do our job because we can't afford to do our job. Only when people are forced to face the consequences of their actions do you see their true self. I have had situations in the past where I screwed up. I did something that led to something happening to me that I did not like. When I was very young, I would get angry and I would blame others for it. As I grew and as I learned, I would realize this is happening to me. I had a job where I told my boss I could not do certain tasks in the store. I didn't get a lot of hours. My action, basically saying I only want this one responsibility, meant I didn't get a lot of hours. We had people where I worked in food service. I've driven pizzas many times, and I will tell you, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, any of them, on busy nights, Friday, Saturday, WWE pay-per-views, things like that, there's a very clear division between people cooking, people running the counter, and the people delivering pizza. I can remember Friday nights when I was in college where I would get to work, and within 2 or 3 seconds, I'm handed my bank and 2 or 3 pizzas to deliver. I barely got time to get in the door and, get my bank so I could make change. I didn't touch the line. I didn't touch a phone. I would work 7, 8 hours where I'm in the store less than a minute before I'm back out making another run. Doesn't happen like that all the time. Slower days, slower shifts. Typically you have the manager running the kitchen, and at that time you would have maybe one other person with that manager to handle the counter and phones and help in the kitchen. But as a driver, when there's nothing to do, I would prep things. Generally I would, prep sauce for the next day, prep wings so they could just be put into the oven, prep toppings, even cook. We had people who would apply to be drivers, and they were very clear. I'm not a cook. I'm not going to prep. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to drive. They didn't get shifts, and they damn sure didn't get the Friday and Saturday shift when you could make hundreds of dollars in a night. And they complained, and they tried to get it their way, and then they were shown what they signed, saying that there are no drivers only, cooks only, phones only, prep only positions. There are people who don't do the training to be drivers, so they can't drive, but there's very few of them in the store. They typically are your, I can work weekends. Fine, you're not going to be a driver, you're a cook. Now, cooks make more than drivers per hour. They make less per week. And we had people who would complain, like the ones who I just talked about, and they would try to get it to be, no, I said I would drive only. They have to let me. No, we don't. Especially in Texas. They don't have to do anything. It's the way it is. I've had people work for me when I was managing a photo lab, who, when I would tell them, I need you to start breaking down that machine and cleaning it. No, I'm a counter worker. I just work the counter, man. I would write them up for insubordination. You get to 3 write-ups, you're gone. I only ever had to do that with one person. He tried to sue for wrongful termination. I provided all the documentation, everything, and it was ruled that he was not wrongfully terminated. People like that never learn. But it's very simple. We must apply the consequences of people's actions to those people. The ones rioting, assaulting people, burning buildings down, demanding through violent insurrection that they be obeyed. We should be filling Guantanamo Bay, Leavenworth, even rebuild and fill up Alcatraz. I don't care. But these people are violent thugs. They need to go to prison for a long time. I personally say bring back work camps. Let them live in the most basic of conditions, fed and what they need to be fed to remain healthy, and made to work. Hard labor. No, not busting rocks or anything like that, but a hard day's work. Probably half or less will learn that from that experience.